On Tuesday, PTI Chairman Imran Khan rejected the idea of extending General Qamar Javed Bajwa's (COS) term until the following elections. The former Prime Minister had urged the nomination of an army leader be postponed until the new government is elected, which would then choose the next military head, during a speech to a private TV channel a day earlier. In a discussion with journalists, Imran Khan claimed, "I never talked about the extension of the army commander's tenure, I merely proposed to wait the selection of the army head until the fresh elections. The army chief's appointment should be determined on merit by the government chosen following elections. I never specified who ought to lead the military. The two families, Sharif and Zardari, should never choose the head of the armed forces," Khan added, adding that he didn't say anything to elicit a comment from Inter-Services Public Relations, ISPR. According to Imran Khan, his recommendation for the army chief's mandate extension is subject to the announcement of the early elections. He continued, "The appointment of the army chief ought to be postponed until the election of a new government." Speaking at the event, the head of PTI claimed that a few people have jeopardized national security for their own personal interests. In a tweet from Shirin Mazari, she said, "What Khan actually said on Army Chief and what at AAJ Kamran Khan and PMLN trolls DLib try to misquote. Problem here is when anchor wants to assert his own view/agenda despite IK making his position clear on same issue. Such anchors should do monologues instead." He cautioned, "It's also possible that I'll tell you all of those people's names." Imran claimed that he had frequently discussed methods to make the nation better. "I support the organizations that support the interests of the nation. No organization can succeed without merit," he said again, and he added that the institution of the army is powerful because it follows merit. Imran said he will make a final decision on his much-hyped plan to compel the current administration to hold early elections no later than September. He used a cricket analogy, saying, "They, government, are perplexed by my in-swinging Yorker." In a tweet by Fawad Chaudhry, he said, Imran Khan yesterday presented a practical formula for the political future of the country and the restoration of democracy. There is a need to proceed on that formula. The economic condition of the country will not be able to bear the burden of further political instability. The status quo of the establishment can be maintained for conducting elections. Imran stated that he opposed pushing up the early elections till March of the next year. "I will stand against anyone who works against Pakistan's best interests. Without the establishment, this lame government would not exist. I don't want somebody to hurt the nation while posing as the establishment," he continued. He also urged the judiciary to establish a system for selecting judges that is based on merit. Imran claimed he did not understand why Inter-Services Public Relations, ISPR, released a statement in response to his contentious comments regarding senior military officers when all he stated was that the army chief should be picked on merit. When asked if he has connections to the ruling class, Imran responded that if they support Pakistan's interests, then I do too since I advocate for Pakistan's development. Imran responded that he too was waiting for Nawaz to return when asked if there was a chance that Nawaz Sharif might return soon. He observed that Nawaz would be welcomed in a manner that had never been witnessed before.